Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome. This is the GBN television news from Monday, November 15th, 2021. Coming up in the news tonight, Health Minister confirms legal challenge as political leader of the Grenada Renaissance Party files injunction against Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and Health Minister Nicholas Steele over COVID-19 vaccinations. Opposition leader Tobias Clement welcomes the election of NDC's political leader, agreeing that it will be an interesting general elections. Emotional father breaks down in tears as he begs to embrace his 9-year-old son. Coming up in Around the Globe, Daniel MacArthur wanted in connection with at least 4 robberies in Guyana. Internationally, at least 68 inmates killed in latest Ecuador prison clashes. Coming up in sports, Spice Boys finished second in Group A of the CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship qualifiers. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories right after this.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh with the details. Top story this evening. An injunction has been filed against Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and Minister of Health Nicholas Steele by leader of the Grenada Renaissance Party, Martin Washington Edwards. The injunction seeks to halt the current vaccination campaign while challenging the named government ministers for infringing on the rights of Grenadians. Gerard Joseph has more.
The injunction was filed on October 22nd against government's COVID-19 vaccination campaign.
What now we demand is that they should cease giving the vaccine and that the pushing of the vaccination by the ministers and this government should stop.
Martin Washington Edwards, leader of the Grenada Renaissance Party, says he is concerned with the lack of information being given to the people on the vaccines and what it consists of. Noting that Grenada's first 153 confirmed cases were cured without the vaccine, Mr. Edwards has questions that he said require answers.
So my question is, what is the purpose of the vaccine? Okay, if the vaccine, like other vaccine, then I can see. And now you're taking this vaccine, they tell you have to take a booster. No other vaccine in the history of the world have any, I would say, chaos like this vaccine.
Part of the injunction relies heavily on the infringement of the rights of Grenadians.
It's a factor that you have a right to make a decision, and most of them in the job because they were influenced by people in the government, what to do, that's the employers, and these employers enforce that upon the workers. Many of the workers leave, and some of them who took it got sick, and some of them die. And this is some of the things that we need to be explained to us by our government. How many people take it and die? How many people got I would say, affected, and this is a fact that should be explained to the people.
The Renaissance Party leader reiterates that the injunction calls for a stop to the administration of COVID-19 vaccines, as well as providing relief to those affected.
Off-season of the vaccine, and also that people who got who've been affected by that vaccine should be, I would say, compensated, both by the government as well as the SGU. SGU is not the government. They create appetite in there, and also hotel industry. They should be also punished and make them, I would say, compensate all these people who got affected.
GBN reached out to Attorney General Dia Forrester for a comment and was told by the Secretary a return call from the AG's office would be forthcoming. However, despite continued efforts up to news time, a response proved futile. Government, meanwhile, continues to encourage the Grenadian people to take the COVID-19 vaccine as the best choice towards saving lives and livelihoods. To date, there are 3 vaccine options available: AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and most recently Johnson & Johnson. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement has welcomed political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, into frontline politics. He believes Mitchell is on the right path to challenge Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell in the next general elections. However, he is warning the NDC leader to never underestimate the sitting Grenadian leader.
37 years in this ball game taught me a lot of lessons. Some people have learned some serious lessons about politics. They would learn. They would learn. It might be easy to buy a political party, but it's not easy to buy the people of Grenada, Carrick. Let's get it right. That one difficult.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell responding to the election of the National Democratic Congress political leader, Deacon Mitchell. This was opposition leader Tobias Clement's response to the Prime Minister's statements.
One has to have a lot of respect, or you will try to have a lot of respect for Dr. Mitchell as a person, as a politician. He's very astute, and you cannot take that from him. I remember back in the day, in the late 80s, it was H.A. Blaze who said, the worst kick to get is a kick from a dying mule. Now, that is a man that is at the end of his tenure, his end of his days. And I leave it onto the hands of the Lord.
Having been a long-standing member of the New National Party, Tobias Clement resigned in late 2019 to become the country's opposition leader in April of 2020 and announced his alignment with the National Democratic Congress on August the 11th of this year. Being one of many prominent Grenadians asked to respond to the election of Deacon Mitchell as the NDC leader, he said the new executive elected to lead the NDC is a good move by the party. Although Clement is not an official member of the NDC, he said discussions with the party for some form of alliance continue. Clement said he congratulated Mitchell on his election as political leader of the NDC while taking offense to some of the statements uttered by the Grenadian leader towards the younger Mitchell.
He said you could buy a party, but you cannot buy votes. But my question to him openly, yes, we do not know. He's assuming that because he's in Parliament, but I can go back. In 1989, I was young, but I was there. I can ask him, how did he get an MP? Let us not go there. I would not go there today. But I spoke to young Mr. Mitchell, Deacon, and I said to him, as St. Paul said to Timothy, let no man or woman despise your youth.
Clement warned that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell should not be underestimated, although in the end, it will be the Grenadian people who decide.
After the calculations, after almost 40 years of Dr. Mitchell, I think the writing is on the wall. And his time has come. And we will do what we have to do to get the Grenadian people ready for the election coming up. It will be an interesting election. It will be a very interesting election, but it's one that we all will be waiting for and ready for. And me, so more than everybody else.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, leader of the Grenada Renaissance Party, Martin Washington Edwards, says he is ready to serve. As the excitement builds to the next general elections, constitutionally due in 2023, Edwards says he is not daunted by the current political climate. Here's Gerard Joseph.
Confident? Are you still confident?
I'm always confident. It's just sometimes you get people around who belongs to the opposite party. They come and fake and pretend they're with you, and at the end of the day they were not. That's the only thing that gave us setback. But this time we are taking our time, and God is blessing us. We're getting better candidates.
Grenada Renaissance Party leader Martin Washington Edwards tells GBN that he is still in the running as the build-up continues toward the 2023 general election. Grenada Renaissance secured 44 votes from 5 candidates in the 2018 general elections. Edwards says he will not be merging with another political party to strengthen his chances in the lead-up to Grenada's general election.
No. The only party, listen, most of the parties and them, Renaissance is purely for agriculture, agro-industries, okay, better health and better education for the people of Grenada. Most of them are going there to help their pocket.
He is advocating for a better constitution that gives proper balance of power to the branches of government.
So what Britain has given us for constitution is pure rubbish, and I'm ready to give a constitution to Grenada that will give Grenada pure independence, and no individual comes as a prime minister or anything like that and do the garbage what our government, our prime minister and them are doing at this time.
Meanwhile, the Renaissance Party leader addressing the new NDC executive led by Deacon Mitchell says he is not yet convinced that he will make a good prime minister.
He was one of them working for SGU, and under him, while he was still there, SGU made this a mandate. And obviously I cannot consider him as an effective leader if he will stay in Grenada and allow a foreign nation to come in and make something mandate which should not be mandated. So I cannot see his effectiveness in anyhow.
Mitchell had defended his law firm's representation of SGU on unvaccinated workers.
My responsibility as a lawyer to a client is a completely different skill set from my responsibility to the citizens of Grenada as a politician.
However, Edwards also contends that NDC's effectiveness is in question, especially as it relates to the party's vaccination stance. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now to this story. 9 months of emotional torture for a father fighting to just hug his son. After several court actions for the cause, Stevenson believes something is not right as he still cannot gain access to his son. He wants someone in authority to step in and help him in this matter. Chrislina John has this story.
Alwyn Stevenson told GBN he came to Grenada from London after what should be a 3-month vacation for his 9-year-old son almost 2 years ago, which has now turned into a no return and total deprivation from him seeing his son. Stevenson says he wanted his son to get a Caribbean experience, and that is now his nightmare. He relayed his story to GBN on Monday.
Because I sent him here on a holiday for 3 months, which is about a year, nearly 2 years now. I'm here nearly 9 months now fighting for my son in courts. Before I come here, I couldn't sleep at night. Because my son is my life. I believe my son, I grew up with him, well, from birth to stand, and now my son don't want to see me. And that's the reason why I'm here. I leave my business, I leave everything, and just come here. I don't know where I'm going to start when I go back.
He said several court actions yielded no success.
Matter is finished now, so the judge make a ruling that I could see my son while I'm here, like on weekends and like when he have school and things like that. I didn't feel that the judge made the right decision because he's my son. I'm the father. Miss is the grandmother. Miss don't have no rights over my son, and the judge clearly gave Miss the rights over my son.
Stevenson believes the judge's decision was not fair to him. On several occasions, the court's ruling, which allowed him visitation rights on some days, was violated with no consequence.
I went there because of the judge ruling just to get in for the weekend, and they clearly refused me again. And this was going on. It's about 3 court hearings the judge said to them they can't deny if I see my son. And up to now, well, since I come to Grenada, I never see my son. I never hug my son. Taken back to court twice. And the judge clearly make a ruling the last time here, I think it was last week or week before last. If anybody violate the ruling again, he's going to put my son in a home. He never said to me, okay then, if I make any mess up again, he's going to give me my son. No. Anybody violate the order, he's going to put my son in a home. Which I think that shouldn't be the case. It's just said, okay, if any party mess up the violation or the ruling, I'm going to give the other party. The whole case is a mess. And the judge, I don't know what's happening. And anytime I try to get access to my son, I take lawyers, I take police, I take everything there, and nothing happening.
Attorney Judge Prime, who represented Mr. Stevenson in court, did not wish to openly comment on the outcome of the matter. However, he said he has advised his client to seek further legal action. GBN sought to get copies of letters and other documents for reference of what his client has stated. However, Prime explained that because the documents were signed privately, he cannot share copies of such material. Christina John, GBN News.
This is GBN Primetime News. Still to come, IT specialist Jervis Dabrio warns Grenadians to be aware of scammers. More news is next.
With Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduced interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always act when let you come first. Save energy, save a dime. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always act when let you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always act when let you come first.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
Keep foods safe after an emergency or disaster. In case of a power outage, keeping the refrigerator door closed will keep foods safe for about 4 hours. Throw out refrigerated leftovers and perishable foods after 4 hours. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Light up this Christmas with Republic. Come on and brighten up the holidays with Republic.
Light up your Christmas with Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic's spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Don't click and don't share. That's the advice being given to Grenadians once again who have been receiving WhatsApp and other social media messages that highlight giveaway promotions from various local and international companies. This comes as the official logo of Republic Bank Grenada Limited is being used to attract locals to a recent scam. Rena Perry-Thomas tells us more.
One of the most recent scams locally involved the logo of Republic Bank Grenada Limited, where scammers used the bank's official logo to promote a €2,000 reward if persons only click on the link and share it with friends on social media platforms. The bank on its website and social media pages has since informed the general public that the promotion was in no way connected to the company. IT specialist and online advocate Jarvis Dabrio, who identified the scam, explained that simply clicking can be used to penetrate the security system of devices to steal identities and even create financial havoc for victims.
I think what is important is understanding that once you click on a phishing link, you've unleashed a world of problems on yourself. Understand that something like a keylogger, getting onto your computer, is something to actually lose a bit of sleep over, because a keylogger is going to record everything that you type in, whether it's your password, your PIN, information for your bank, your online banking, the messages you send. It doesn't matter. It captures that and it sends it back to whoever is on the other end, naturally a bad actor.
According to W, as the Christmas holiday comes closer, more of these scams will surface, and as such is warning Grenadians to not be so easily attracted to free offers. The IT specialist had this advice for persons who already compromised their devices by clicking the link.
What do you do if you did click on the link, you did interact with it? You need to scan your device. If you're running an Android device, Google have that protection that is built within the Play Store. So you go open the Play Store app. In there, you go to the settings menu, and you're going to see the Play Protect option in there. You could run a scan. Some people may want something a little bit more robust than that, something that they're a little bit more familiar with, and then you monitor the device for any abnormal behavior over the next few days. Overheating, your battery is draining faster than it should, pop-ups, that you didn't have before. Look for apps that you did not install that may be there now.
Scammers in recent times have been using local companies and institutions' logos to make their tricks more believable to the local population in targeted countries. The advocate is calling on companies to put proactive measures in place to address these issues, as it can affect them negatively.
Companies now need to be a little bit more aware of what is happening in the virtual space. They need to maybe have one or two persons just there monitoring, or maybe outsource it to some other entity. So once these things start making the wrongs, you're able to say, hey, this is not from us. Because let's assume there's a Coates one, or a Hubbard's or Huggins one, and they say you win free food for a year. We know they have this official thing running all over the media. But imagine if the scammers was to piggyback on that and get that to make the wrongs. Imagine the number of people that they're going to catch.
People are reminded to be on guard when it comes to scamming strategies that are being used, and once noticed, persons should avoid and report these activities. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas reporting.
Minister of Climate Resilience, Senator Simon Steele, who represented Grenada at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, said negotiations are critical just 2 days before a revised climate deal has been struck. In an interview with international reporters, he said Grenada is particularly under threat from the effects of climate change, namely coastal storms, flooding and drought. Gerard Joseph has that story.
We need to hold the line. Words of Senator Simon Steele prior to the new global climate deal being struck in Glasgow. He went on to say, and I quote, "We owe our children, our grandchildren. This is critical now. The next few hours are going to determine the new dawn." End of quote. Grenada's Minister for Climate Resilience told reporters that he believes if they leave Glasgow with the principles that are outlined and the key tenets of the text as it stood then, they would have gotten the most out of the climate change conference.
The text is balanced, it's in accordance with the Paris Agreement, and it addresses the gap and how we should move forward. It keeps 1.5 alive.
It does keep 1.5 alive.
It keeps 1.5 alive. If there are attempts by parties to weaken that, then that would be an issue.
Senator Steele, prior to the final deal, said, and I quote, "If the text that's on the table now withstands the battering that it may get, yes, we are holding on by our fingernails to 1.5 degrees. However, changes to the draft came in the form of disagreements to phase out coal from India and China.
All parties need to step up and continue to lean forward. This is not about one party, it's about all of us. There are some who bear the greater responsibility and the greater burden. They all must step up."
Sovereign nations were also divided in regards to finance for developing countries such as Grenada, which is already feeling the effects of climate change. The government of Grenada has committed to transitioning to renewable energy by 2030. However, sustainable financing remains an issue. Recently, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank announced the aim of tripling renewable energy usage in the region by 2030 via homegrown solutions to financing, while making use of the excess $23 billion in liquidity within the ECCU banking system. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Pear Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
On the fourth day after Grenada welcomed the first cruise ship to its shores, the cruise ship terminal was abuzz with hundreds of passengers disembarking from two large vessels. The Grenada Tourism Authority officials, as well as members of the media, were present for their arrival. GBN brought this story
we and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Raul Benjamin said, God gives men and women knowledge and wisdom to create vaccine protection for the world. Thank God. Thanks to the scientists of the vaccine for that invisible monster killer, Mr. COVID-19. God works in mysterious ways. Amanda Charles commented, way to go, Grenada. We coming to come. Hazel Gilbert wrote, there is a state of emergency in Grenada till May 2022, according to government. But you have cruise ships pulling up? Look up the definition. Rebby Gunpot said, Grenadian people, the government don't care about us. They released the curfew to 12 for the accommodation of tourists and money, not for us. And this man talking about vaccine and booster, can it save us from catching the virus? Donna Mae Marcella asks, if we get the second wave in the virus, who's gonna get the blame? And finally, Cynthia B commented, please do not let your guard down. Glad to have the visitors, but please be cautious. That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, government moves to enhance literacy in the country. More news next.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA Online Store, where good food begins.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Granville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Life's moving moments don't always work as planned. That emotional hug during the graduation ceremony, sudden sightings of old schoolmates during a shopping trip, things can go a little off track quickly. With 15-way voice and video calls, group chats with up to 1,000 persons, and free messaging, Bib helps you share the happiness and be prepared whenever life hits. Keep the good times going. Share it on Bib. Bib, more than just a messaging app. Download Bib today.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Across
Across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
Welcome back. Government is moving to enhance literacy in Grenada through community libraries. This was announced by an official from the Ministry of Education, who also made mention of government's plans to digitize archives at the St. George's Public Library. Let's get more details in this report.
The digitization of archives at the St. George's Public Library is just one of the many projects government said it will undertake as they capitalize on enhancing literacy in the country through community libraries. That's according to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Norman Gilbert. According to the PS, the government is presently awaiting a response from engineers about the structural state of the public library in the capital. He noted that they are embarking on a 6-month project to further digitize archives at the library, which on completion, persons can access online at a cost.
In fact, the ministry has already done a lot of work in terms of the procurement of specialized equipment that is required for that particular digitalization. We had a project in 2015 funded by UNESCO that supported some digitalization work at the library, but we are going to be doing an extension. There are a number of archives yet to be digitalized, and the intention is that the digitalization will become available for the general public to be able to access on an online platform where persons who are doing research and who would like to find out more about Grenada's history, library history, political and otherwise, that they can go online and be able to find these archives, maybe at a small cost, which we have to give consideration to in terms of maintenance and access.
With the enhancement of the community libraries, with new books, shelves, repainting, and the training of librarians, it is hoped that they can reach more people in the community and improve literacy in the country.
I expect that the communities are going to be making greater use of those libraries. We are now embarking to support the libraries by training the librarians. That will be our very next move in terms of ensuring the librarians receive additional training. And we also want to embark on a community program to enhance literacy within our communities. And so these libraries will be an essential part of the program that we are going to be enrolling to ensure that we support people who are out of school.
The River Sally Government School is one of the facilities to house a community library on the island. Principal of the school, Natasha McEwen, says that they will soon introduce a reading competition to encourage literacy among students.
One of our strategic plan is to improve literacy among our students, and with this refurbishment and remodeling of the library, the students will now be encouraged. We have a place for the students to come in and participate in literacy programs. We're hoping to have reading competition, as well as on our timetable we have what we call drop everything and read day after lunch for 15 minutes.
Community libraries that are now open partially will welcome more patrons once the ministry reopens schools fully. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Livestock farmers in St. Patrick capitalized on a veterinarian livestock clinic last week. The services were offered by the Ministry of Agriculture, citing the importance of producing healthier meat for consumers. Chrislina John tells us more.
More than 100 livestock were treated by the Ministry of Agriculture's Veterinary and Livestock Division as the fourth in a series of outreach clinics was held in the community of Rose Hill in St. Patrick. This holistic approach from officers was aimed at ensuring that farmers and householders receive complete care for their animals. Wednesday's outreach was threefold, as diagnosis, treatment, and technical advice were offered. Veterinarian Dr. Dexton St. Bernard says given the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on livestock farmers, the hosting of the clinic was very timely. As the Christmas season approaches, he noted the importance of the services offered at the clinics in ensuring that clean and healthy meat is sold to consumers.
And it's important that we're here today because all of the medication that we use, they have what we call a withdrawal period. And withdrawal period is a period where the drug is no longer found in the blood, okay, or what we call a residual effect. So if an animal gets slaughtered before the withdrawal period after being given a drug, the people who consume that meat would actually be consuming the residue of that drug. Okay? So all of the drugs that we use here today, most of them they're like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay? So that would give the farmers sufficient time, you see what I'm saying, for them to be able to slaughter mid-December.
The treatment were mainly for parasites and rabies. Two farmers accessing the service, Rossi Daniel and Devontae Charles, were grateful.
For the animals, some deworming medicine and some the rabies vaccine. And for the rabies vaccine, it's very important for me because on my farm here we have a lot of mongoose. And so I know for a fact I lose animals already from rabies, so that is something that is not very nice. So I'm happy that I could get the rabies shot and the deworming shot.
It's important that farmers seek that interest because it's a part of their livelihood and also the health of the animals. You know, you want, especially like if you're slaughtering and stuff, you want to know that you're killing healthy animals, providing to the public.
Having met and dialogued with farmers and treating animals, Animal Health Officer Yolan Lord Telesford said the objective of the clinic has surpassed the ministry's expectation.
Our main objective is to get a relationship with the farmer and to see what is the health status of livestock in the country generally, and to identify the different genetic material that we have to improve on our breed or productivity and to increase on the flock size through reproduction.
Christelina John, GBN News.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye catches all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
This young man is an engineer in the making, so says our citizen journalist. An engineer is a person who designs and builds complex products, machines, systems, or structures. Engineers want to know how and why things work. We thank our eyesore reporter for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Ingenuity in its finest. Stay with us. The weather report and forecast is up next, followed by sports and around the globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Effective Monday, November 1st, the St. George's branch of CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, will be moving to its new location at Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George's. Our telephone and fax numbers will remain the same: 440-0217 and 440-6447. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this relocation, and we look forward to serving you.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available: colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Let's take a look at what the weather report and forecast is expected to be like. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be mostly fair and breezy with light showers after midnight. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate to slightly rough with waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides are expected to be low at 7:45 p.m. and high at 2 a.m. On Tuesday, sunrise will be 5 minutes after 6 a.m., sunset 5:40 p.m. Mostly fair and windy conditions are expected with light to moderate early morning showers. On Wednesday, sunrise 6:06 a.m., sunset 5:40 p.m. Mostly fair and windy conditions are expected, increasing in cloudiness overnight with light to moderate showers. Looking ahead to Thursday, sunrise 6:06 a.m., sunset 5:40 p.m. Partly cloudy conditions are expected with light to moderate morning showers. And that's it for the weather report and forecast. Stay tuned. The sports report is coming up next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's kick off with football. Curacao is the champion of Group A after downing Grenada 4-2 over the weekend. With both teams level on 9 points heading into the encounter on Saturday, things were wide open, but Curacao would take over just before halftime with a 2-0 lead. It was then 3-0 with a goal in the 46th minute, but Grenada will pull one back through Deanroy Phillip in the 59th. Curacao regained their 3-goal advantage with a goal in the 77th minute, but Spice Boys kept things interesting with a Keyshawn Clark goal in the 82nd. Head coach of the senior and under-20 Spice Boys teams, Michael Finlay, spoke with us about the Spice Boys under-20 performance.
We extremely disappointed, specifically for the players, really. They have put an enormous amount of time and effort and commitment and sacrifice, but that time has been done in a very short period due to some of the challenges that we had. So there was a big load on them, but we felt comfortable and confident that they were able to use the information appropriately and execute. And unfortunately tonight they did not. I think the performance tonight was more about learning about what international football is about, and that it can change very quickly, and the tempo of the game and the moments in the game can be very specific. But I can say that there was never a moment that we felt that they were not fighting for a victory and fighting for respect and fighting for what we've come here to do, and that is to try and challenge to the next level.
The young Spice Boys showed the fighting spirit until the very end, but Curacao would hang on for the victory to book their place in the 2022 CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship qualifiers. Nevertheless, the young Spice Boys must be commended for a sterling performance throughout the tournament. We move now to cricket. Stephanie Taylor became just the 3rd woman in history to score 5,000 ODI career runs as she made a magnificent 7th century to lead the West Indies women to a superb victory. The star captain finished on 102 not out as the visitors reached 226 for 4 to secure the win in Sunday's 3rd and final match and sweep the series 3-0 over Pakistan women. Meanwhile, player of the series Hayley Matthews is hoping to maintain her current run of consistency heading into the World Cup and qualifiers and beyond.
I think for me it's probably going to come down to consistency. I feel like a lot of tours I have 1 big score or 2 big scores and then I'm probably dry for the rest of the season. While I think here in Pakistan and then moving into Zimbabwe, my key focus is going to be putting down good performances more consistently. I don't want these first 2 games that I've done really well in to just be the start of it, to just be the entire series. I want it to be the start of something really big for me, and yeah, hopefully I can take this form into not only this Pakistan series, but into World Cup qualifiers as well, and I guess round up a really good away tour for myself.
The player has been enjoying a new position in the team's batting lineup, coming in at the 5th in the middle order as opposed to her traditional position of opener. She, however, remains unsure as to whether the change will be a permanent or temporary one, but insists she remains ready to assist the team in any capacity.
I mean, it's a good role change. I'm not exactly sure how long I'll be playing this role for, but at the same time, I'm just trying to do as best as I can for the team as possible. And if me batting at 5 is exactly what the team needs out of me right now, then it's exactly what I'll do. And for as long as they need it as well. If it comes a case where they need me to go back at the order, I'm happy to do that as well and shuffle anywhere else. I'm 100% a team player, and I'm just looking to do as best as possible to get the wins on the board whenever I can.
The West Indies women will now travel to Zimbabwe for the ICC Women's World Cup qualifiers, which bowls off next Tuesday. The West Indies women have been grouped with the Netherlands, Sri Lanka and Ireland. And finally, Australia's great 2020 drought is finally over after Mitch Marsh lifted them to an 8-wicket win over New Zealand in the World Cup final in Dubai. Chasing 173 for victory, Marsh was the hero for Australia on Sunday as he whacked an unbeaten 77 from 50 balls to set up the win with 7 balls to spare. After Kane Williamson's 85 from 48 balls gave New Zealand real hope and Aaron Finch fell early, Australia needed a man to stand up in the chase, and it was Marsh who stepped up in one of his finest hours as Australian cricketer. David Warner also hit 53 from 38 as part of a 92-run second wicket stand with Marsh, ending a 14-year wait for Australia to claim the one trophy that has eluded them. Earlier in the game, New Zealand posted 172 for 4 in their allotted 20 overs, powered by Williamson's 85. Josh Hazlewood picked up 3 wickets for 16 runs. Australia got to their target, losing only 2 of their batsmen to win by 8 wickets with 7 balls to spare, and at long last they were the T20 world champions. And that's all the time we have for sports tonight. Stay with us. Regional and international developments are up next. Tonight's One Caribbean hookup begins in Guyana, where a 20-year-old with a history of violent crimes is back in the custody of the police. Daniel MacArthur is wanted in connection with at least 4 robberies. Here is more from Travis Chase.
Police on the east coast of Demerara on Thursday afternoon carried out a search at the Vrijtlas East Coast Demerara home of 20-year-old robbery suspect Daniel MacArthur and found 1.38 revolver with 2 live rounds plus a .40 Glock pistol. According to the police, the operation was based on intelligence received through reliable sources. Contacted on Friday, Commander for the Police C Division, Senior Superintendent Khalil Parishram, told the Nightly News that in addition to investigations being conducted in his division, MacArthur is also a person of interest in the Police A Division. A source told the Nightly News that MacArthur is allegedly connected to at least 4 recent robberies in the Police A Division. Back in May, MacArthur was granted $150,000 bail after he was charged with robbing a woman of 2 gold chains. That charge was on April 9 for a robbery he allegedly committed at North Road, Georgetown. According to the police's case, the woman was in a bus when MacArthur walked up to the vehicle, grabbed her chains and escaped. He was reportedly chased by the conductor and was apprehended. The woman then positively identified him. 2 months after being placed on bail, he was freed of the robbery underarms charge after he compensated the victims for the items. After that charge was dismissed, MacArthur was remanded to prison after being charged for another armed robbery incident at Cummings Lodge, East Coast, Demerara. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Over in St. Lucia, the National Council on Public Transportation President Godfrey Ferdinand has submitted several proposals to the Ministry of Transport to help further reduce the number of COVID-19 cases on the island. Among the submissions are COVID vaccines for members of the organization. Let's get more details in this report.
Full capacity will be allowed on public buses if drivers and commuters are fully vaccinated. The National Council on Public Transportation, NCOPT, has recommended the measure to the government following discussions with members. Currently, buses are limited to 10 passengers. The NCOPT is in the process of conducting a survey next 2 weeks to determine the number of drivers that have already been vaccinated. The organization this week received a donation of masks, thermometers, and hand sanitizing devices from the Ministry of Transport and the National COVID-19 Command Center for distribution to its members.
We received PPPs from the government. We have distributed it in terms of mass and so that the drivers could protect themselves and so forth. So that also would, we welcome the issue of drivers doing their part in seeing that the reduction of the COVID numbers. And we know, yes, in all organizations you'll get some persons that are careless, but we have always and will always encourage our members to follow the protocol.
The NCOPT president says it is the minibus operators' best interests to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and encourage passengers to do the same. Cecil Actil, NBC Prime.
Moving internationally, dozens of inmates have been killed in fierce clashes in a prison in Ecuador's largest city. According to preliminary information, some 68 prisoners were killed and another 25 were wounded. The brawl was just one of several such incidents in the prison over the past few months.
Dozens of Ecuadorians gathered outside this prison on Saturday, waiting for any news of their family members. There was an overnight riot at the Litoral Penitentiary in the southern city of Guayaquil that began on Friday evening. Information is difficult to come by. They desperately looked through an unofficial list of victims' names that was posted outside the building.
Nothing is known. What the prisoners are saying from inside is that no police or military are controlling it, that they are letting them kill each other in cold blood.
Police are blaming rival gangs for the violence. At the same prison earlier this year, more than 100 inmates were killed in the worst incident of prison violence in recent years. Ecuador's prison system has come under the spotlight recently for overcrowding and poor sanitation and living conditions. Officials say they're accommodating about 9,000 more inmates than the prisons were designed for. The Litoral Penitentiary was built for 5,300 inmates, but it holds 8,500. In September, President Guillermo Lasso declared a 2-month state of emergency in the prison system. He's also called on the highest court to allow the military to enter prisons to stop any violence. The court responded in a statement, Ecuador's prison crisis will require more than temporary solutions. Dorsa Jabari, Al Jazeera.
That's regional and international news. Stay with us. A recap of the headlines is up next. Now let's look back at what made the news this evening. Health Minister confirms legal challenge as political leader of the Grenada Renaissance Party files injunction against Prime Minister Mitchell and Health Minister Nicholas Steele over COVID-19 vaccination. Opposition leader Tobias Clement welcomes the election of NDC's political leader, agreeing that it will be an interesting general election. Emotional father breaks down in tears as he begs to embrace his 9-year-old son. IT specialist Jervis Dabrio warns Grenadians to be aware of scammers. In regional developments, Daniel MacArthur was wanted in connection with at least 4 robberies over in Guyana. Internationally, at least 68 inmates killed in latest Ecuador prison clashes. In sports, Spice Boys finished second in Group A of the CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship qualifiers. That's the end of GBN Nightly News for today, Monday, November 15th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh on behalf of the entire GBN News team. Enjoy the rest of your night.